Hey, good morning, everyone. It's John playing Immaculate Grid again, playing grid number 525 today, which is the number of career doubles in the careers of a couple of legends, Ted Williams and Willie Mays. Both had 525 career doubles. Yesterday would have been a good day for them. They hit a lot of categories, but we'll try with today, see if we can fit them in. I'm going to share my screen and we'll get right rolling. Is that an expression? Right rolling? Whatever. Hit and refresh, hit and go, and away we go. Let's see. Only one team, 40 homer season, so we can use Ted Williams. We cannot use Willie Mays there. And that's it. All right, cool. So let's go Rogers Hornsby. And we'll get Joe Carter over here. Ernie Banks. Let's see. Tom Herr. Tom. Yep. Tommy will work for these guys. Only one team. How about Kirby Puckett? Nice. And we'll get McGuire down here and Manny Ramirez. All right, a 55-second win using the most popular for Tommy, Pujols. Sorry, I used Tommy here. So that's right. I did not use Pujols. I used McGuire. It's probably close. Ernie Banks, Kirby Puckett were both the most popular. Mickey Mantle taking the highest one there. Let's see, we got Tommy, Sonny Gray rocking and rolling for St. Louis and Minnesota. You get Hayward, a little bit of Lofton here. Lofton only played half a season with the Cubs. I guess that's not a major overlap point. All right. Well, I think I'll just go for a standard rarity round here. Gonna stop, refresh, stop share. Obviously, I can't go all Brewers if only one team is a category. So I share the screen again. Sorry, I'm not going to share the screen. I'm going to share that. And we're going to hit refresh. And away we go. Yesterday I went with 8 of 9 Brewers. There wasn't a Brewer pitcher who had won. Sorry, there was not a Brewer pitcher with 200 strikeouts who had won MVP. Raleigh Fingers did win MVP, but did so as reliever, never struck out 200 in a season. So I just went with Hal Newhouser. I figured it was a decent low pick. He's at least in the Midwest, so whatever. Someone pointed out I could have gone with Bob Gibson since a different Bob Gibson was a reliever for the Brewers in the 80s. So I could have gone that route, little tangential relationship, that sort of thing. But I didn't. So let's think here about how we want to tackle. I know that's a Raleigh Hemsley combo. I get a lot of mileage out of that guy. Also out of Germany, Schaefer works over here. Good start. Let's see. I think it's a Crosby is my name for the Cubs. Played in the 1800s. George Crosby. I think that's my guy. He also works for 300. And then for Minnesota, only one team. I believe the name was Foreman. That one was a stretch. Eric Foreman is a character on that 70s show, which takes place in Wisconsin, which is right next to Minnesota. There wasn't much there. He didn't even play for the Twins. He played for the Washington Senators, or I think they were officially called the Nationals. Senators was kind of a nickname at that point. There's some nuance there. Like maybe it was the second iteration actually was called the Senators. Those are nice low scores to start. Let's see if we can keep it going here. I mean, this category will certainly blow it up, but we'll get there when we get there. Let's see. I know Hal Trosky in 1936 had a 40 homer season, right? Oh shoot, was it 40 or was it just a big RBI year? I think it was a 40 homer season, pretty sure. All right, so I get 1% there. I'm I'm gonna go Pat Borders down here. He of course works in so many categories. 0.4. So let's see. I would have been, aside from this category, I would have been go score alive but clinging, I think is the quick math on that one. Let's see. St. Louis and Chicago. Longtime rivals, been around forever. Todd Zeal would work. Gary Gaetti would work. Um, Lou Brock and Ernie Broglio would work. Swapped for each other. Trying to remember, does Bobby Shantz play for the Cubs? I know Rogers Hornsby works. Did I play him already? I might have already played him. I want to get really, really low here. St. Louis and Chicago. Bobby Shantz plays for the Cardinals, and he plays for the Pirates, and I think the Astros. Man, I don't know if the Cubs were in there. He's swapped around a lot, and he's winning Gold Gloves the whole time. But I'm not 100% positive on that association. And let's see, this is not going to be a Lofting combo. I don't think this is a Dotel combo, not a Matt Stairs combo. Obviously, the trades in interdivision are not super common. They were in the same, have been same division going all the way back to 1969. They both joined the newly formed NL Central the same year, 1994. Trying to, like, if a Forsch brother works in there, this is not going to be a Gossage combo. He never played for the Cardinals. I don't think Vince Coleman ever plays for the Cubs. Um, Talking myself more and more into Todd Zeal. Yeah, it's just under 1%. Let's see if we can tackle this one. 40 home runs from someone who played their whole career with one team. Actually, that's going to be a tricky one because a lot of these guys, even back before the reserve clause is repealed, you've got like people doing their kind of oddball year with someone else. DiMaggio will work. He only had 140 homer season, I think. He had several like 37s in there. Gehrig will work. Norm Cash is an example where I'm not sure. He had a 40 homer season. He played pretty much his whole career with the Tigers. I don't know if another team snuck in there. Sort of a similar situation where I know it won't work would be Eddie Matthews played almost his entire career with the Braves. He played the last season they were in Boston, the first season they were in Atlanta, the entire Milwaukee period in between. And then he plays like his last season or two split between Detroit and Houston. Gets his 500th home run actually as a Houston Astro, I believe, and then is on the 68 world champion Tigers before retiring. But he would not work, but not a lot of people know that sort of part about it. He's Eddie Matthews, he played for the Braves. That's how you remember him. And then you got more modern players. Vladimir Guerrero and Junior works. Salvador Perez will work. Let's see. Among Brewers, Ogilvy and Thomas will not work. Braun will work. Braun had a single 40 homer season. It seems weird to say like out loud as I'm saying it, but I think the best option here might be Joe DiMaggio because he played his whole career at the Yankees. And he only had the 140 homer season. I think people might assume he had more though. Um, Not a lot of people are aware that he had only the one, but I'm gonna go with Joe DiMaggio. I never get to play him, so he takes 1%. Okay, I think that was a pretty good guess. And then 40 homers from the Cardinals. I think a good rare one there is going to be Johnny Mize. I'm not going to think too hard on that one. And he takes 10. So that mostly all came from Johnny Mize, or more than half of it. There have only been 5 players in Cardinals history with 40 or more home runs. And so Johnny Mize seems like probably one of the better ones. How many people got that to start? 74%. So you get Pujols, you get McGuire, you get Hornsby. That might have been better. I'd already used him. Did I use him? I thought I used him. Um, you get Mize, and who's the last one? Edmonds. Jim Edmonds in 2000 and 2004 had 40 homer seasons. It's really just those 5 guys. Remarkable. How many would have worked for this one? 27. So I'm pretty happy with 1% from Joe DiMaggio. Okay, so this was going to be a tough one. Let's see if we can do all these. So for the Cleveland Indians slash Guardians, you get Trotsky. I think you get Colavito. You get Hafner, Tomey. That's 4. Manny. That's 5. Albert Bell. That's 6. Um, and then no one in a little while. Justice had a 40 homer season split between Cleveland and New York. Um, I'm pretty sure on the Colavito one, but I'm not 100% sure. I know he did in Detroit. I think he did in Cleveland. Um, who else might have hit 40 home runs? I'm not gonna spend all day dwelling on it. I don't have to because I can just click here. Al Rosen, I knew that. Al Rosen. I was right about Colavito, and then Al Rosen hit 43 in his MVP 1953 season. All right. Well, thank you so much for playing. This was a fun one because these were like surprisingly rare. You wouldn't think that, or not rare, but like surprisingly low. Yeah, I guess it is rare. It's rare that a Cleveland Guardian slash Indian has hit 40 home runs. It's only happened 7 times, and or with 7 players, and only 5 times in the illustrious history of the Cardinals. So, um, and they've got some pretty high profile ones in there. So I'm pretty happy with 6% out of Johnny Mize. All right. Thanks so much for playing, and we will be back at it maybe tomorrow. I'm traveling next week, so can't really promise any kind of regular schedule. But I'll be back at least next weekend. So thank you very much for playing. Peace.